Welcome to the Undisputed Podcast. I'm your host, Joy Taylor. On today's show, have the Cavaliers fixed their problems, or is there still cause for concern? Plus, Eric Dickerson joins the show to explain why he's not sold on Saquon Barkley as the best player in the draft. And will the Steelers regret playing hardball with Le'Veon Bell? Skip, Shannon, let's get to it. Let's start with the Cavs. They went to Shannon's restaurant and picked up a hot dub against the Pistons last night. LeBron had 31 points, including 13 straight in the third. Then he sat out the entire fourth quarter. Larry Nance Jr. was in the starting lineup for the injured Tristan Thompson and had a career-high 22 points and 15 rebounds. Ty Lue said Nance will stay in the starting lineup for now. Here's LeBron after the blowout win.
We did it by committee. We know it started with me and Larry, obviously. You know, we knew we was going to have to try to do a job on those two big guys that they had with Blake and Dre. So it started with us, and then we did it by committee after that, and it was resulting in us getting that win and winning the rebound battle. We needed it. We got a long road trip, and it's always good to get a good quality win like that. You know, nobody had to play high minutes, and especially for myself, I haven't sat out a fourth quarter in a long time and felt good about it. You know, I've sat out fourth quarters, but we was probably getting toe up. But you know, it was a good win for us, and it was good for all of us.
Shannon, have the Cavs fixed their issues?
No, not even close to fixing their issues because the lineup that they're probably going to take into the playoffs, Kevin Love's not even there. So until he gets back and gets into the mix, we don't really know what this team's going to be. But I do know this: Larry Nance Jr. should remain in the starting lineup, Skip. He's a more energetic, athletic Tristan Thompson. And if Tristan's not dunking or letting the ball up, Skip, you feel real comfortable with the ball in his hand. Larry Nance can step out 10, 12 feet, and he can make a shot. And so he's a threat. Tristan Thompson's not in the paint. They're not even paying him any attention. So, no, they're not even fixed. This is what the doctor ordered. You know, you go to the doctor, and it's like, Doc, what's wrong with me? He says, well, take 2 of these, and you'll be – what's wrong with the Cavaliers? They ordered up the Detroit Pistons. Not very good, Skip. We know that. The honeymoon is over with the Blake Griffin situation. Got off to a great start, and everybody was, ooh, bad boy Pistons.
They won 4 straight.
Now look at them. And so, no, they're not even close. And, Skip, George Hill, 1 for 5, 3 points. J.R. Smith, 0 for 3, 0 points. Your starting backcourt plays over 20 minutes and give you 3. And you think they're fixed? Rodney Hood, over his last 5 games, 1 of 13 from the three-point line. And you think they're fixed? No, they're not fixed. Detroit was just what they needed to get over that the doldrums of what was going on over the last week and a half. So, no, Skip, they're not fixed. But Bron, Skip, I'm not worried. I keep telling you I was a 4. I'm still a 4. As long as I got him, he's 6'8", 250. He sat out the fourth quarter. Oh, man. Did you see him raining down threes?
I did.
I was hollering every time he let it go. Lay up. Walk up.
Really?
Lay up.
So you like him shooting 7 threes?
5 or 7. You saw it. Shot another 65% from the floor. He make me sick. Shooting 31, 7 and 7 in under 29 minutes, Joe. What's wrong with him? He must think he an MVP or something. Oh. So hold on, James Harden. Don't get out there too far. I want you to know I see you.
So, I have been critiquing LeBron James longer than you have been idolizing LeBron James. And I will tell you what his history will tell you. His history will tell you that every time he has one of those crazy hot three-point shooting nights, and that was, by his standards, crazy hot to make 5 out of 7.
I've seen him hotter.
Oh,
you remember when he played?
Once at Miami.
Charlotte,
game,
when he hit his first 8. Joy, you remember that good old days with the Joy. You wish those days would come back again, don't you?
Yep. The problem with LeBron from 3 is he's a 34% career shooter, and history will prevail. And every time he has one of these nights, it's often followed by a 1 for 7 night, which is followed by a 2 for 8 night, because he keeps saying, I just made some. I'm going to keep trying, because he loves shooting threes, because he thinks that chicks dig the long ball. As he said last week, they actually, I think, dig, quote unquote,
I think chicks take the dunk.
The dunk. They do.
They like
the
handles.
Dunk.
Now
it's the
handles
slam.
handles is the new thing now.
Oh, it's all
everybody
handles?
crossing somebody up like James Harden and
think it's
Kyrie.
that. I still think it's the big slam.
Posterizing.
Posterizing.
What did he tell you? He said the officials are trying to make me a jump shooter because they won't call foul. You saw Blake Griffin hit him side his head on that layup and they didn't call a foul, Skip.
So what does LeBron James constantly tell us? I am not a jump shooter.
No, he's not.
Okay, and he just shot 7 threes, but he made 5 of them. So I say, look out below because it's going to come. Now they're going to go on a 6-game road trip, 5 of them in the far west. The toughest is at Portland. All of a sudden, the Blazers are crazy hot. Speaking of crazy hot.
Dang.
9 out of 10 they've won, and they've edged all the way up to the 3 seed in the West.
3.
So that looks like a big L at your restaurant.
Whoa. Hold on, Skip.
You're not going to win that game.
Hold on, time out. We're a week away, and you already chalking up L's. Where they do that at?
And I don't think the Cavs can win at Lonzo because at Lonzo's been tough lately. They'd won 9 in a row until Dame last night had to score 19 in the fourth quarter to win that game.
How'd he do?
You got to go there.
How'd
You got to go
do?
there. We'll talk about it in just a little bit.
Sure.
He made 2 big late threes. I thought it'd put him over the top.
Put him at a grand total of 10 points.
Well, when one guy scores 19 in the fourth, you're going to have a hard time winning that game. But your guys got to go to him, to Dame's place, right?
You make it seem like that's the House of Horrors.
It is the House of
That's
Horrors.
not the Showtime Lakers. That's not a 34-year-old.
No, I'm talking about at Portland is going to be a
Oh,
House
yeah,
of
the
Horrors.
Motor Center.
That's a big L. And
Whoa.
they'll lose one of these 2 at Staples,
Sweeping.
LeBron in L.A.
He got that cleanup crew.
Get out.
He's sweeping up.
It's kind of like teams going to Miami when you go to L.A. It gets
You know what? Why you do that?
distractions, just a few
There
distractions.
ain't no distraction. LeBron is focused.
Then they get an easy one at Phoenix, but I don't know. They're going to have a little hard time here. So back to your point. Larry Nance Jr., I told you going in, the reason I love him as a player is he's a talented overachiever. I don't think he's in and of himself a great player, which is why Magic Johnson deemed him expendable. In favor of a guy you love, Julius Randle.
Yeah.
Julius Randle, Larry Nance Jr. Who you like? Who you got?
I mean, Julius Randle is a better player,
Thank
but I'm
you.
not so sure that for the Cavaliers that Larry Nance isn't better.
Okay, you could make that case. But Magic Johnson said for us,
Yes.
because Luke Walton has publicly referred to Julius Randle, even in this preseason this year, as a quote-unquote monster. So Julius
He was a lottery
Randle.
pick also, Skip.
Well, okay, but I'm just saying, for a while he got a little heavy.
He did.
And he's dropped a few now. And they're both 6'9". Larry Nance and Julius Randle, both 6'9", but very different kind of players because Julius can do a lot of different things.
One plays above the rim.
Okay. And yet Julius, since the trade, is averaging 21 and 9. So that's pretty good with 4 assists, so he's a better all-around basketball player than Larry Nance. Larry Nance was a first-round pick, late first-round, 27th overall, out of Wyoming, but he's 6'9", 230-ish. But I told you he is high energy and will play. He'll do all the right things. He's a right-thing player, and LeBron's going to love him because he doesn't need any shine. He's just going to do the dirty work. He'll do whatever is required. But last night, he got shine because he had a hot shooting night. So the reason last night is a little misleading is LeBron had a crazy hot shooting night, and by his standards, so did Larry Nance. As far as making the outside shot, he's not going to do that every night.
No.
Okay? But it was amusing to me that Ty Lue said after the game, he said, I didn't know he could shoot it. He never shot it at L.A. Well, he did try to shoot it because last year for the Lakers, he tried 36 three-point shots. I guess Ty wasn't watching. I don't know. He made 10 of them last year. So he has some ability to make three-point shots. So far in Cleveland, he's 0 for 3 from 3, but he will try them occasionally.
But he's only shot 7 this year. He's 1 for 7 from the three-point line.
But last year, 10 for 36 is a fairly high sample size.
Yeah.
So in the end, the most amazing stat that I've seen, this was courtesy of ESPN, is that, to your point, LeBron has found a new sort of partner. And now Larry Nance Jr. is playing as hard as Tristan used to play.
Exactly.
Because Tristan used to play as hard as anybody in the league, to my eye. That's why I pushed for him to get his big contract, which he got.
Yes.
And now I can't find him anymore. I don't know if it's his personal situation. I don't know if it's his contract. I don't know. I don't know.
I ain't talking about that.
Okay.
You know,
Well, I don't know.
all I'm saying is this, Skip. Look, it was nice to see LeBron be able to play extremely well, and get out of the ball game. He's averaging 39 minutes a game since the All-Star break. Played over 42 minutes on Saturday. So it's nice. It's nice for him to get. He said it. Yeah, it's been a while since I sat out the fourth quarter. Normally, we getting wore out when I'm sitting out the fourth quarter. So now he gets to sit out the second time. Played Detroit early in the year. Sat out the fourth quarter, hung. He did what he did. But Skip, they're not fixed. You know that. You just want me to you want me to go out here, yeah, they're fixed. And so they come out here and somebody beat the brakes off them. You like, what happened to your guy? It's not going to happen. And we're going to get retribution on the Nuggets tomorrow night.
Well, I'm trying. Oh, really?
Retribution. Retribution. Justice will be swift and harsh.
Really?
Yeah. You want something on it?
Yeah, I want a case of dew on that.
Bet it.
Okay.
Run it.
You're the one who keeps telling me what a monster they got.
They got a
in the middle,
monster, but
right?
we got a real monster.
Really?
Yeah, we got a real one.
Who's
They got a
real?
monster team. We got a monster.
Larry Nance Jr.?
Stop it.
Well, I don't know.
You know who
I don't
he
know
is.
who you're talking about. Okay, you said it. Okay, so you just reversed field on how much you love the Denver
I
Nuggets.
love the Nuggets.
Okay,
But I love LeBron.
Okay, I appreciate that case of dew. So back to
You're
the
not
Larry.
getting it.
Huh?
You're not going to win because they're not going to
Well,
win, Skip.
It was a gift. Thank you.
Okay.
That's over. That's done. That's like the easiest bet you ever gave me.
You know LeBron watched the show.
I hope so.
He going to go out and
He's watching right now.
40, 15, and 12.
Because here is the stat of the night or day,
What?
again, courtesy of ESPN. To your point about Larry Nance, this is stunning to me. In I'm doing plus minus
Yes.
here. In the 153 minutes that LeBron has been on the court with Larry Nance Jr., LeBron is a plus 127 since he's been there. That's really good.
Yeah.
In the 203 minutes, they have not been on the court together since the trade deadline, obviously. LeBron James is a minus 29. So he is really clicking at a high level with a guy that he can trust will lob dunk for him.
Yes. And you sit the high pick and roll. He
Yep.
can roll to the basket. He can finish, and not Tristan just throwing up that thing,
Yep.
Shot putting left or right.
Yep.
And he sets great picks for LeBron. LeBron trusts him, as you mentioned. He's playing really, really hard. But Skip, until they're not going to be whole until Kevin Love get back, and he's going to have find a rhythm because he's going to be the number 2 option. Right now, we don't know who the number 2 option. We don't know who 2, 3, 4, or 5 is. We just know who number 1 is. The only thing that we know is consistent and that we can count on every single night is 2-3. You from the 3-3-0. You know you from the 3. That's 3-3-0.
Yep.
So you know what you're going to get with that guy.
So you don't have Kevin Love, and last night you did not have Jeff Green. We're going to talk about Jeff Green and roller skating a little later in the show. But back to your man, 2-3. So the biggest plus I can give him last night was, for the first time in a long time, maybe all year, LeBron James, who's obviously the head coach of this team,
He's not.
actually took himself out of the game for the fourth quarter. To your last point, he took himself out with a chance to go on a date with.
He ain't want it.
He didn't want it.
Well, no.
He's at 7-7, so all you already got 31, obviously, so that's easy. So all you need is 3 and 3 in the
We
fourth
don't play
quarter.
for stats. They just happen to
You
come.
don't play for stats.
No.
That's all you play
No,
for.
Skip,
That's
they just
all
come.
you do. Do you know how many times I've had to tweet late in fourth quarters of blowout games? LeBron, what are you doing on the floor? Well, it's obvious what he's been doing.
Yeah.
He's trying to build legacy stats because he doesn't have playoff wins.
You remember when Orlando, they had a 26-point lead, and when he came back, it was 8? Yeah, he was supposed to sit out that fourth quarter, too.
Yeah, that's
Skip,
one. Keep trying.
Skip, here's the thing. He normally starts the fourth quarter
Yeah.
on the bench because it's like,
Not always.
No.
He's had some 12-minute fourth quarters.
Saturday, he started because the game was close. They had gotten the game close, and so they were going to try to make this push and get him over the hump. But normally, he starts on the fourth quarter. He'll start on the bench, gets about 3 minutes, 4 minutes rest. If he's good, if they're feeling really good, they'll give him a 5-minute break. And then he comes back in and finish it off because normally he's played 29 minutes, 28 minutes at that point.
Yep.
Maybe sometimes a little more.
Yep.
So he'll come back in and finish it up. But last night he wasn't needed. He had done his work. came in like a burglar, stole what he needed to steal, and got up out of Dodge.
And did he?
Yeah.
So last year, LeBron James sat out 13 fourth quarters. This year, he's all the way up to, including last night, to 4. So he's playing high minutes.
You know why he sat out for it? Because we had a proven number 2 in Kyrie. You had a proven number 3 in Kevin Love. Kyrie is long gone, so Kevin Love stepped into the number 2. Kevin Love has been hurt for now over a month. So he has to play those skills. Look at the roster. You make it seem like he's playing with the Rockets roster or he has Golden State roster. He does not. You know that.
Interesting. Yeah, he's been playing high minutes in fourth quarters or however you want to say, whatever his new routine has been. And they have been losing like crazy. What have they lost now? 4 or 5?
They lost 19. They're 0-19 when
I wasn't even doing that.
Yeah, but okay.
Thank you for bringing that up.
You was going to bring it up sooner or later.
Okay, so 19 straight times, LeBron James' team has trailed going to the fourth quarter this year. And for the last 19, not once have they had one comeback. So we're not talking about comeback king here. He doesn't do that.
Well,
is that not in his repertoire?
Wednesday.
Huh.
Wednesday.
Really?
Yeah.
You're going to come from behind at Denver?
Might not
Good
need
luck
to,
with that.
Because might not need to because that mile high, because I got a feeling them 3 balls going to be dropping for Bron.
So,
and you know what happens, Skip? He might do this.
You think he would do that?
He might.
Okay, so I will bet you another case of he doesn't make 5 threes at Denver.
Might not need to.
Well, do you want to bet if you're doing this, he's got to make at least 5.
Here's the thing, though, Skip. When you look at LeBron, LeBron does what's needed.
Oh.
He doesn't go out of his way to try to I'm gonna shoot the 3 ball tonight. He was shooting the 3, it was going in. He was going to the bucket too. And you saw Blake Griffin hit him side his head, Skip. He go to the ground, he crashed to the ground. I said, oh my goodness, Bron is seriously injured. That's what I thought.
You did not.
I did think that.
I didn't think that.
Did Blake Griffin hit him upside his head with an elbow?
Did.
Why wasn't a foul call?
Blake Griffin hits a lot of people upside the head.
That would have been a flagrant too if they'd done that to James Harden.
You think so?
Yeah, I know so.
Huh.
They look at James Harden, foul on you.
No,
they
would have given James 4 free throws for that.
James Harden be on the bench, get up off the bench and shoot free throws. They're
So last night, everybody was raving. All the analysts were raving after the game on NBA TV.
Who were they raving about?
About LeBron, for only the second time in his career, had scored 31 or more points in 29 or fewer minutes. And I'm interpreting that very differently than raving about it. That just shows you that usually he's playing much higher minutes than 29 minutes. That's shocking that he would only play 29 minutes.
Here's the thing, though, Skip. If he was just a scorer, that's why. But when you're assisting the ball, you're rebounding the ball, look at guys that do what he does and see how many times they've done it, with the exception of Wilt Chamberlain.
Yep.
Guys don't do what he do. Scores, Dame Lillard, Klay Thompson.
Yep.
These guys can heat up like that and get that many points in that fewer time. But they don't have the assist total. They don't have the rebound total as LeBron James. So he's doing so much. He's much, much more than a cook. Parking cars, taking reservations. He does it all, Skip.
He does it all?
At his restaurant, he does it all. Got no help.
Well, to your first point, do you realize the Detroit Pistons haven't won a road game for almost 2 months now?
Yeah.
You have to go all the way back to January 10th. They won at Brooklyn. Really? And their last meaningful road win was December 15th at Indiana. So wasn't that kind of a scrimmage last night?
No.
Wasn't it just a...
That's what we needed. I mean, sometimes, Skip, when you bumped and lumped up, you know, you don't want the hard-fought game.
Yeah.
You want someone that can come in there, challenge you early. You hit him with a couple of these threes. LeBron getting to the basket. He was going in because he and Larry Nance Jr. scored the first 20 points. And then Clarkson, chipped in. But for the most part, this is what they needed, Skip. Before you go on the road, you done took all these lumps and bruises. You want an easy win before you hit the road and get in the media schedule and come back 5-1 off this 6-game road trip.
I'll do another case of Diet Dew. I'll do 4. You do it?
Good bet.
That's a pretty
Let
good
me think
bet.
about it. Let me think about it.
Think about it.
Let me think about it.
There's nothing to think about.
Because
Just take it.
LeBron.
You already predicted he's going to be doing this.
But here's the thing, though, Skip. The 3 is not his game. His game is I do what it takes to win. So if I need the 3 ball, I hit the 3. But if I need to go to the free throw line 20 times, if they call it like they're supposed to, I could get there.
He's going to go 20 times.
No, I'd probably go like 10.
Okay, so every time I say Lonzo does just what is needed to be
Well,
done, you say, but he
how
can't do-"
dare you?
Huh?
How dare you
Yeah,
mention Lonzo?
I just put him in the
How
same
dare
sentence.
you mention Lonzo Rubio? I mean Lonzo Ball with LeBron James in the same. That's the only thing.
Well, one guy,
Lonzo,
one
LeBron.
guy's a really good three-point shooter, Lonzo, and the other guy, your guy, is not a very
Who's
good
shooting higher from the three-point line? LeBron James or Lonzo?
Well, how about since Lonzo came back from injury?
Well, damn, was he not? Was he not?
59%.
Did he not start the regular season?
Yeah, he started.
Okay, so how did
He's creeping up on him.
he ain't creeping up on what?
On LeBron.
LeBron. You notice LeBron don't never look back.
You're raving about his three-point percentage.
Who?
You.
Raving by whose?
LeBron's.
Oh, that thing 36%. You're gonna get on up to 40. Like I knew it gonna be.
You want
So
to
bet the
wait a
Giants-
second. How about a third case of due on 40% or better?
38.
You've already lost one. You said 80% or better from the free
He's
throw
70
line. Are you conceding that one
He's
yet?
73.6.
Yeah. Are you conceding?
I think if he go on a hot streak, hit like 27 or 30, he'd be right back in business.
You think so?
Yeah, right
so
back
you're
in
hanging
business.
in with your bet on
Right
the
back
free
in
throw
business.
line.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think you got no shot. I think it's over. You should just concede that one. It's
20
okay.
27 to 30, he's right in business, Skip.
Yeah. It's hard to argue with LeBron's history because history will tell you he's a 34% three-point
History
shooter.
says he's a better three-point shooter than Michael Jordan and Kobe.
No mercy. Next up, the Lakers were on a 5-game winning streak, but Damian Lillard put an end to that last night. He scored 19 of his game-high 39 points in the fourth quarter, and the Blazers erased an 11-point deficit. Lonzo Ball had 10 points, including a game-tying 3 late in the game, but Portland stopped Isaiah Thomas in the final possession for the win. Shannon, what did last night tell you?
Maybe, Joy, just maybe, Alonzo isn't a 60% three-point shooter, Skip. He did get to the free throw line, though. How many he make, Skip?
1.
Oh. So if I'm looking at this right, I'm gonna make sure I'm looking at it right, because you know eye getting bad, I gotta get him some glasses. You reading glasses. 3 or 9. So that body line, what he's shooting before he went on this torrential tear, Joe. You don't, oh, Lotto, let it go. Skip, what did he shoot from the 3 at the UCLA?
Wait, yeah, last night he shot 3 for 7. That's pretty good, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He shot 3 for 9 from the floor. Is that pretty good? So basically, he right in line with what he been doing the whole while. But you got this little hot streak, this little uptick, and all of a sudden,
Little hot
uptick. You doing handstands.
Uptick.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Doing backflips and everything. I thought you were over Corbett the way he was flipping out here, Joey.
Well,
Or
I'll take-
Svetlana Korkina, the
I'll
Russian
take
swan. No,
Nadia.
you're
I
not.
don't wanna be Nadia.
You want to be Komanicha, the Romanian. And say, okay. Skip, look. This is what they're a young team. And they're going to have their growing pains. They're going to, win a few games here and everybody, the Lakers, the back leg, go get the 8th seed. And then all of a sudden, no, Skip. I didn't think they were going to make the playoffs before the season started. I don't think when there was 5 straight, I didn't think they were going to make the playoffs. But I tell you what, at some point in time, we're going to have to give Dame Lillard his credit, Skip. Now, you talking about can heat up, because he got cooking in the second quarter. He chilled in the third.
He really chilled, like cold chilled.
And then all of a sudden in the fourth quarter, he couldn't miss, Skip. He's 3-4 feet behind the three-point line. Well, you can't guard that. And then because he can take you off the bounce, he got tremendous handles. He can get to the basket, mid-range game. So you can't push up on him because he can go by you.
No.
But I'm not surprised. Just when you see Lonzo. Oh, Lonzo, he was this and that. Oh, Lonzo.
Tell me when it's my turn.
It's not your turn yet.
Okay.
He was just heaping praise on Lonzo Ball. And now all of a sudden.
Ricky Rubio is playing pretty good basketball right now. I don't know if you've been noticing, but go ahead.
Yeah.
I don't think that's that big a diss.
Ricky Ball
actually.
or Lonzo Rubio? I mean, what they close. I mean, they close. Very similar type players, Skip.
Okay.
All I'm saying is this, Skip. I just want to, after the day, can we not just critique Lonzo every game? Because it's unfair to him. I don't like.
Thank you.
I don't like.
Thank you.
Joey, I don't like to get a man a B and then come back tomorrow and fail it. I mean, what kind of instructor would I be if I did that to my
Yeah,
students?
thank you.
I don't want to do that.
Yet this topic was your idea.
Yeah, but
you wanted to talk about it.
And Julius Randle was again another monster night.
Yeah.
Been the best player on the roster.
Oh, really?
And Isaiah Thomas is doing Isaiah Thomas
I
things.
can't wait until it's my turn, Joy, but I'm waiting. I'm just waiting.
The Lakers, maybe in the future, Skip, but I'm not surprised. And Dame Lillard is a superstar.
Okay, My turn?
Yeah, your turn.
So, the Los Angeles Lakers had won 9 straight games at home. Is that
Not pretty good.
pretty good?
Pretty
right?
good.
Okay.
How many of them had Lonzo Ball played in?
So, he played in a number of them.
No,
Not
one.
all of them. Not all of them. So, let's start by critiquing this poor 20-year-old kid named Lonzo Ball, who I told you had the biggest target ever painted on his back, unfortunately by his father, of any rookie coming into any sport in the history of this world.
With Jackie Robinson, I'm sipping tea.
I don't know about that. So, last night, Lonzo Ball made 2 big threes in the fourth quarter. The first one came with about 5 minutes left, and that put them up 11 points, which was their biggest fourth quarter lead. And I thought that was going to do it. But Dame Lillard had other ideas, and you were right. When he goes off like Steph and Clay go off. He's right in their ballpark.
Yes.
He can do what they do on occasion. Maybe not quite as often as they do it, but trust me, Damian Lillard has done it to my Spurs 3 or 4 times where I just said, that's just too good.
Yeah.
And Lonzo Ball did guard him some in the fourth quarter because they were trying everything. Yeah. They were trying KCP. They're running anybody.
They're running doubles at him.
Yeah.
Skip, you know, once a guy gets hot like that, there's nothing you can do. You just hope he misses.
19 fourth quarter points, and he made 5 threes. It's just unstoppable. So Lonzo also made one with 1:51 left to play, which was big and clutch because it tied the game, and it gave them a chance at the end to tie the game again. And Isaiah Thomas caught the ball and looked like he had a pretty good look, and Shabazz Napier reached out and actually blocked it on the way up and knocked the ball loose, and he didn't really even get the shot off at the buzzer. So in the big picture, what happened last night, and you avoided this, and I thought you would leap all over this, the Lakers got done to them what the Cavs often got done through the first half of this year. They got IT'd. They got Isaiah'd last night.
No.
Look at this. Lonzo got IT'd last night because Isaiah Thomas shot 21 times.
Yeah.
He made 5 of 21. Didn't that sound like a kind of a Cleveland line to you? He was 1 for 9 from 3 was Isaiah Thomas. 1 for 9, and in the fourth quarter, he was 2 for 9 from the field and 0 for 3 from 3. That'll get you beat. Right?
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, and he has shot the ball better for the Lakers, but he thought he was really shooting it. So 5 for 21 for the game, and still they had a chance.
Yeah.
Thanks to him, you know, the ball's in his hand, but he had a chance to tie the game. So once again, Lonzo does what needs to get done, but Lonzo got off to a horrible start because he got 2 quick fouls and he got sat by Luke Walton for a long time. Then he comes in and quickly gets a 3rd foul. So the first half was just a bust for him.
So you want Luke Walton to let him play through it?
No, that's just me. I would.
He hadn't earned that right. A rookie? Right. Now maybe LeBron or Harden or Steph Curry or Russ Westbrook. Yeah. You let them play through 3 fouls in the first half. Not a rookie, Skip. I don't believe there's any rookie that a coach will let play through 3 fouls with that much time in the first half and run the risk of him picking up a 4th foul.
Yep.
No.
So I consider it something of a moral victory by the young Lakers to be up 11 with 5:26 left on a Portland team that has now won 7 straight and 9 of 10 and has edged all the way up to be the 3 seed in the West. They are serious business.
Joey, we're in the moral victory. So now professional sports team with the number 2 pick in the draft.
Yep.
They in the moral victory, Skip.
I seem to recall you saying that you were into moral victory.
Nah. I'm in the morality. There's a
morality
difference. Yeah, I'm in the morality, not moral. Victory.
I thought you said you served a dessert at your restaurant called Moral Victory.
No.
No.
I took it out the menu.
It's high calorie, but it's
I closed down. LeBron wanted me to close down the turnover shop. I closed it down. You noticed? 15-1, 9-2. That's what he's been doing as far as turnover. So Skip Bayless, you need to stop. You need to own this.
So let's look at Lonzo Ball, who's had, according to Shannon Sharpe, a little hot streak from 3.
Yep.
So since December the 12th, that's a long time ago, and it's over a 16-game span, Lonzo Ball shot 47 of 106 from 3. That's 44.3%. I'd say that's pretty great. I'd say that's a big enough sample size where you'd say, you know what? He's a pretty good three-point
Yeah, you
shooter.
know, I would say that.
Yeah.
But, Joy, you follow basketball. Did they start the season in December or did they start it in October?
Did he have more pressure on him than any rookie ever has had heaped on him?
Well, he said he fine with that. He said he fine with the pressure. He fine with his dad talking.
That's what
so
he says.
that's what he say. I can only take the man at what his word is,
So
Skip.
then he comes back, and he's been back from injury, the knee injury that he had, knee issue, for 5 games. And in that span, he's made 17 of 29. That's 59%, including last night's game. And I know it's just 5 games, but that's pretty great, man.
He made 59%, and he still ain't got that 3 above
interesting.
35.
So now I'm going to be critically objective about a player I love as opposed to somebody across from me who never says a discouraging word about the player that he just
I do.
lives for.
I do.
You never say a word about LeBron
Remember
James.
when Kevin Love, when I was Kevin Love, and I say I wasn't going to say anything about LeBron, but y'all know what he been doing.
Lonzo Ball has a free throw problem. To your point about 1 for 3, he did get fouled on a 3-point shot in the first half, which required him to go to the line and shoot 3 in a row. And he clanked the first 2, then made the third one. We can see it right here.
Boring.
Yikes.
That's how
And
Bow Wow beat him.
Guess what? Guess what? No, it wasn't. That was a 3-point contest. Guess what? That's no good. He is shooting that conventionally. So he's not shooting it from the side. He's not using his funky 3-point or his jump shot motion. Okay? So this is a big issue he's going to have to fix.
Yeah.
He's been shooting threes like crazy after practice, before practice.
Skip, I don't know if you can do that. I don't know if you can shoot a jump shot one way and then shoot a free throw a totally different
He
way.
now looks more uncomfortable to me at the free throw line than LeBron James often looks to me. Because LeBron, every night, LeBron changes his routine. He's got this weird new routine where he steps way back with his left foot and then back to the line.
And the ball, you know.
It's just weird.
You see the 2 free throws
but he changes like every week. LeBron's got a new sort of rhythm, routine that he does before he shoots free
Well, I
throws.
tell you what, when Lonzo Ball averaged 27 points for a career.
Okay, well, here's the point. Lonzo Ball has to fix the free throw motion. And he's either going to have to do the same thing and shoot it from the side, which he's comfortable with because he's been doing it since he was a baby, according to his father, or he's going to have to figure out how to stroke it conventionally and make it work. Because you got to, at his position, you got to make 80%.
But here's the
he's
thing.
at 48%, which is pathetic.
But here's the thing, though. So are you telling him to shoot the free throw conventional and shoot his shot, the jump shot conventional, or just shoot both of them the same way?
I would, just me, my experience with this is shoot it the same way.
I agree.
Just figure it out.
Right.
Just go up there
I
and
agree.
shoot it sideways. I don't care. There's no set way you have to do it.
Right.
Rick Barry, the great Rick Barry, shot it underhand, and he believes in that. But you can shoot 90% shooting it this way. It's like
if you shoot, if you're gonna shoot 90%, shoot it, Granny. I don't care if you're gonna make 90%, shoot however you want to shoot. If Kareem could throw the sky hook,
I agree.
That's what he would have done.
I agree. But this is a problem. This is a Ben Simmons-sized problem for Lonzo Ball. And if he's not careful, he's going to get hack-Alonzo'd in the fourth quarter because I think right now he is really screwed up from the free throw line because he's not doing this.
Don't put him with Rick Barry. He'll have him shooting.
He would. Rick's a good friend of mine.
Yeah. No mercy. Saquon Barkley had an outstanding combine, and there are reports that the Browns are considering him with the first overall pick. We're joined by FS1 NFL analyst Eric Dickerson, who went second overall in the draft. Welcome, Eric.
Thank you. I'm glad we're talking about some football today,
Who went
too.
first in that draft?
John Elway.
Oh,
John Elway. Wait, but you know, before we start, can I say something?
What?
Can I get a little credit? You know, I know football season is over. We're talking about it now. Can I get credit for picking the Eagles 2 weeks in advance? Can I get some?
You still
Yes,
credit
I want
for
my
that?
Credit. Thank you.
You know what?
Thank you, Joy. Thank
I
you.
can't reach over there.
Thank you. All you Patriots fans.
Joy done paid up.
No, Joy ain't paid up yet.
Patriots fan.
Joy ain't paid up yet.
Okay, we got time.
Okay.
We got time. I'm not a Patriots fan.
$400 dinner plus tax.
Plus tip and tax.
Plus the tip, $500.
So
Okay.
what if Denver had taken Eric Dickerson first overall? Would that have changed history?
Well, me and he did it with my teammates.
We've been teammates. We'd have been teammates.
Well, how
Okay.
good is Saquon Barkley?
Joy, I'm going to say this much here. I think people ask, is he the best player in the draft? For me, no. I would have to go with the quarterback. I like Josh Rosen. I mean, I really do. I like him as a quarterback. I like him as a person. I met him, played golf with him. Nice young man. I think he's going to be a very good, if not one of the elite quarterbacks in the league. Team depends on what team he goes to. Now, Saquon Barkley, I've never been big on the Penn State running backs. I never have. I'm going to go back. The best Penn State running back they've had in the last 40 years was Franco Harris. I mean, got to go back to Franco.
Yep.
I mean, the guys who are 5'11",
DJ Dozier, Keyshawn
Carter,
Enos.
them thick-bodied. I just never liked those guys. And then they go to, okay, he runs the 40 and a 4.41. He bench presses, 29 times. That's fine and dandy. Look, you run 40 in tights and shorts. You don't play football in that. I would say if you want to run a 40, put some shoulder pads and a helmet on, and you'd get a real idea of how fast the guy really is. I think he has good hands. It's going to depend on what team he goes to. I think if he goes to the Browns, it ain't gonna be good for him. If he goes to the Giants, and they don't have an offensive line, won't be good. Well, I think another one won't be good for him. A team I do like for him is the Colts. The Colts. I like the Colts with Andrew Luck. I think that would be the team for him because they don't have to give up the whole ship to get him, like when they did with me and they did with Jeff George. I mean, we had nothing but a running back and a quarterback and no offensive line. So I think a good situation for him would be in Indianapolis, but is he the best player in the draft? I think he probably had the best combine, let's put it like that. But for my money, no, I would not take him number one.
What do you not like about him?
I just don't like those little 5'11", 235-pound backs. I just don't.
6 feet, 230.
If he ain't 6 foot, trust me, he's about 5'10".
But I think he measured at the combine.
Yeah, like I said, he ain't 6 foot. No, he's 5'11". No, let's give him 6 foot.
Okay.
I still think that I've just never cared for those Penn State. And you know what? I hope I'm wrong because he's a running back. I always want to see running backs do well. That's my thing. All of them. But I just don't think. I don't think. And once again, I got to say this: it depends on what team he goes to. That's very important. What team he shows up on. So that's my take on it, and I'd like to hear what everyone else has to say.
First of all, I am not going to write him off just because he chose to go to a school that has not produced a great running back since Franco Harris. Because it's just crazy that history would say don't take that school's running back because the regimes keep changing. If Jopo was still there, God rest his soul, if he's still doing it his way, maybe you could say that.
Larry Johnson did have 2 good years at Kansas City. So.
He was pretty good
Yeah.
for a while.
Yeah.
Till
2 years.
Coach Herm wore him out for 1 year.
Yeah.
He did. But given that, so I'm not going to discount him off Penn State, but again, I have to measure him against Ezekiel Elliott. And again, you guys think Le'Veon's the best back. We're going to talk about Le'Veon next up. But I think Ezekiel is because he is so special. And Eric, you were very special. But when I watch Zeke run, he runs with body lean and just sheer will that I haven't seen in a long time. And if it's 3rd and short or 4th and short, he's just going to get it just on his willpower. In his jump cuts and his natural strength, because I don't think he's in the greatest shape. You saw him for a while at Cabo, but again, is he ripped and slashed upstairs? Is he a guy who's just going to overpower you with his weight room strength? I do not think so. But he has natural power, the likes of which I haven't seen in a long time. And all I had to see was the end of his sophomore year when in high-stakes games, Big Ten championship, national semifinal, national final, he goes 220 against Wisconsin and then 230 against Nick Saban's Alabama defense and then 246 against Oregon in a national championship game. That's just extraordinary, and that's all you had to know. That's end of story. And I wanted the Cowboys before the draft to take Joey Bosa because I thought it was more of a need position, and Joey Bosa's pretty good.
Yeah.
And they said, well, we're going to strengthen our strength. We're going to take somebody who's even better than a guy who had a 1,000-yard season, and he'd had 2,000-yard season, Darren McFadden. So they go Ezekiel, and it changed a lot of things. And you love what you think he's way better than Dak Prescott. I don't agree with that because of the position he plays. But to me, I look at what Saquon did this year, and in the 2 big games on the road, at Ohio State and at Michigan State, he went for 44 yards and 63 yards. Well, did he change life at Penn State? I don't think so. He did run back the kickoff at Ohio State. So if you want him as a kick returner and kind of a specialty Reggie Bush style, Christian McCaffrey style back. I get that because I think he's got that kind of explosiveness. But the rest, if you want bell cow, if you want life changer, face of franchise, I just don't think he's that guy.
But when did the shift happen? Because, Skip, there was a stretch there, oh, you don't need to take a running back in the first round. And now we're talking about taking a running back number 1 overall.
Well, as Mel Kiper's big campaign was, the whole position is
overrated. I know.
So
When the last
now,
time Mel played running back?
maybe it's the success that they've seen with Zeke and Todd Gurley that has brought the running back. But I agree with you, ED. Unless he's just head and shoulders above the quarterback, you don't take a running back number 1 because running backs aren't foundation pieces. Quarterback, if you get that guy, you got a chance, ED. If you don't get him, I don't care how good. Look at Adrian Peterson. Adrian Peterson had 2,097 yards, but his quarterback was Bobo. He got to the playoffs, but then it was gone.
Well,
How about Dieter Brock for the Los Angeles Rams?
He knows.
Brock?
If he just, and this is not a slight, well, I guess anytime you say it's not a slight, it is a slight. But if you could have got just mediocre, middle of the road play, ED, with the seasons that you had your first 3 or 4 years in LA.
oh, man, we'd have won a Super Bowl.
But you got to have that guy still. Yeah. You got to have him. You get him, you can survive with mediocre play at every other position. If you don't get that guy, you whistling. And the Browns taking a run. Look, Isaiah Crowell isn't that bad. I agree with you. I don't see Zeke. I don't see Todd Gurley, Le'Veon Bell with Saquon Barkley. With Zeke, you saw him in the biggest moments, the biggest games, the brightest of lights. You saw him perform.
Just dominate.
Yeah.
That's what you saw.
You saw, right.
So, and that's what you want. That's what you want to see. When all the money's to the table, okay, all right, boys, we playing for everything right now. You want to see who stepped to the front and take that money. We saw Zeke do that in the Big Ten championship, Alabama, against Oregon, and he came back the following year. I don't see it, but I got to take a quarterback. Not a lefty quarterback. You look at the quarterback. Nah.
So you just unmade your own case. So you would say that Dak Prescott is more valuable than
No.
You just said that.
Skip.
Did he not just say
Skip.
that? That's what I just heard.
No. Eventually, Dak will be the guy. But Dak, Skip, everybody's not Andrew Luck and Peyton Manning that you just take him out the package and you say, but Peyton Manning, what did they do for Peyton? They went and got him Adrian James. They did do that.
What did they do for John Elway?
They went and got him TD. Wait and see what they do for Andrew Luck. Now, if he's sitting on the board at 3, he's going to Indy.
And by the way, John Elway in his later years needed that running back to cash in and finally win a Super Bowl.
Hurt my stats, too. You don't want to talk about that. I'd have more catches than touchdowns.
You know what? That is true.
TD rushing all them
more games.
2,000 yards, 1,750 yards. You know how many carries that is, VD? That's cutting into my catch.
That's 300 carries.
You're saying you're just like LeBron James. You care more about stats.
No. I could do both. I mean, one year we won the Super Bowl, I had 1,100 yards. Why couldn't I do that the next year?
How do you remember these numbers off the top of
cutting
your
my
head?
stats.
And what'd you run the 40 in?
I'm
just asking.
Okay, my fastest time I've ever run the 40 was 4.53.
4.53.
232.
So that means 4.6.
No, 4.53.
That means 4.6.
All I'm telling you, this is what we know. That there is no tape. This is what we know, Joey. There is no tape with someone running Shannon Sharpe from behind.
No one has ever caught you from behind in your
Now,
entire
there's a tape.
career.
Eric Dickerson ran 4.30 and 4.31. There is tape.
4.3.
There is documented tape of someone catching him from behind.
Yeah, the fastest guy in the league. One guy. I say Darryl Green, yeah.
Whoa.
Well, you know, first of all,
I'm 4.5. All the 4.3s and 4.4s.
What was your longest touchdown?
96.
How did that ever happen? Everybody fell?
On a 3-yard route.
Everybody had to fall.
On a 3-yard route, ED. I'm the only tight end in the history could take a 3-yard route and turn it to a 96-yard
Give me some.
spectacular.
Give me some. I got to give you someone.
Well, we have a research department here that does a great job. Your combine 40 was actually 4.67.
I told him.
What? What did I tell you? I did 4.6.
But I said my fastest.
Really?
Probably 4.7.
I told Skip I did not run no 4.8 at the combine. I told Skip I ran 4.6.
You said 4.5, didn't you?
I said, no, my fastest time ever. I didn't run it at the combine.
What was your fastest time ever?
4.53.
Downhill, wind behind,
4.53. No.
wind aided.
But it's ED.
Wait, that's the one you timed yourself on.
No, but ED.
And got a quick start.
Here's the thing, though. You know it wasn't specialized. All I was doing, Skip, was running 40. I wasn't tested like they do now.
I'm going to tell you, first, that 40 means nothing. That don't mean, it's just so overrated. I mean, it really is. It kills me. I'm like,
Emmett Smith ran 4.6.
It's Jerry Rice. Who cares?
Right?
I mean, you're a football player. You don't play football in tights and track shoes.
ED. That's all they heard.
Although, wait a second. At what did you weigh coming out of SMU?
225.
225. You ran 4.3. So again,
I weighed 221.
That translated.
Mm-hmm.
I weigh 221.
Can I ask one more thing?
What?
Can we get this race between me and you?
ED, your back,
my back good now.
You just had two
No. Okay, my back is good. Don't try to avoid the question.
ED, okay.
We do it
You
for charity.
act like he's the one that brings it up, and you act like
He
you're the one
avoids
that's
it.
concerned.
He avoids it because
Why
he
you worry
knows.
about Eric's back? You don't have to pay for it.
Because my grandma said you need to respect your elders. If something happened to him, that's gonna be on my. That's gonna be on my.
Just say you're scared.
That's gonna be on my.
Just say I'm scared.
Scared of what?
You know what you're scared of.
You know what? We're just gonna set it up for charity, and then we'll shame him when he doesn't.
Thanks. We're shaming you into it.
Yeah, you gonna be shamed when I blow the nose off. Come on, dog.
No mercy. Le'Veon Bell told ESPN that the Steelers will put the franchise tag on him for a second year in a row. The tag would mean just over $14 million for Bell, but he's looking for a long-term deal. In January, he said he would think about retiring if he was tagged again, but he tweeted yesterday that he wants to be a Steeler for the rest of his career. Bell added, "We're not coming to a number we both agree on. They are too low, or I guess they feel I'm too high. I'm playing strictly for my value to the team. That's what I'm asking. I don't think I should settle for anything less than what I'm valued at." Joined once again by Eric Dickerson, who doesn't think that Le'Veon is retiring, obviously.
Really?
Are you surprised Pittsburgh hasn't given him a long-term deal?
Well, yes, I am. I mean, is he worth it? Yes, he is. I mean, he is an X factor for that football team. I think as Le'Veon Bell goes, pretty much the Steelers go, and Antonio Brown. I mean, you're talking about a guy who has done it pretty consistently for a while. And I think one thing is you can find the Steelers are not going to overpay you, but I think they're going to pay you what they think is fair. Now, $14 million opposed to zero retiring, that don't even make sense. I mean, come on. You want the $14 million or the zero? Okay, I'll take the $14 million.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's not going to retire. I think that what he wants is a long-term deal. I think all the players, as NFL players, they want that signing bonus. They want that security blanket, that $25 or $30 million up front. And you can't blame them for that because, as you get later in your career, in that 7th and 8th year, pretty much they're starting to look around to get rid of you.
But
so,
you get close to 30.
Yeah, when you get 30, you pretty much it's over. I don't care if you have 1,000 yards. It's pretty much it's over. They think it's over for you. But for sure, he's worth the money. I mean, if it's 16 and a half, I mean, what would I pay him if I was the general manager? It's 14. I think it's 14.5 he's asking right now. I'd give him 16. I mean,
You would?
A year?
I'd give him 16. Yeah, I'd give him 16. And 15.5, 16, somewhere around there. We would sell somewhere around there for sure.
No, I'm not surprised. You know why I'm not surprised? His injury history and his suspension.
Yep.
Remember now, he's been suspended twice.
He has.
Remember, he's missed 2 playoff games because of injury. So I would rather pay, and this is not a knock on him because he's worth every bit. I believe he's the most complete back in football. But I'm not surprised the Steelers because they know his history. So there's like, I can't, so we're going to hedge our bets. It might hurt our cap because that's $14.5 million counting against our cap this year as opposed to giving you that big bonus and then we prorating out over the life of the contract. But I secure myself. What good is, you being suspended, you being injured? So that's what the Steelers are doing. So I'm not surprised. Is he worth, $13 million? Adrian Peterson got the outlier contract. He got $12 million way back when. And no running back has approached that number since.
Yep.
So Le'Veon Bell says at some point, that's the starting point. If they can get to, say, $30 million, $35 million over the first 3 years, the first 2 years, now we'd be into doing something. But I see it from the Steelers' perspective, Skip. His injury history, and he's been suspended twice through his own actions. If that sound like somebody that they should trust wholeheartedly. We know what type of player he is, but we also know some of the things that he's done to run afoul with the NFL.
You both make strong points. And Le'Veon, in this article that just was posted this morning on ESPN.com, makes strong points in his favor. And I'm conflicted about it. I've had my issues, as we know, with Le'Veon, but I'm trying to be completely objective because the case that he makes is a strong one. Now, the running back market right now says that the highest paid running back is Devontae Freeman at 8.25. So I'm sure the Steelers are throwing that back in his face.
Right.
We're going to go to 16 when the next highest paid is 8.25. But Le'Veon's case is a strong one because right now his combined yards average per game is 128.9. That's the best since the merger in 1970. So I can't take that away from him. I can't discount that at all. And he is making the case that he plays the role of three backs because he's an every down back and he considers himself the second best receiver on the football team. So you can split him out as a number 2 type receiver. And he considers himself an elite pass blocker. So you can play him every down if you just want to protect Ben. So that helps. And there's that stat. The Steelers are undefeated when he gets 25 or more carries. That's strong, man. I mean, that's hard to argue with, right? That's a case. And he makes the case for his longevity because he says he plays more with his mind than his athleticism. And he does drive me a little crazy sometimes tiptoeing because ED did not tiptoe like that. ED hit the hole hard, and a lot of times he made his own holes, and if there was a hole, he was gone. But you know how Le'Veon, he tiptoes, he looks, he waits.
I might go here.
But you know,
I think I'll go over there.
But that's what they're used to. I mean, it's like when you get into a system, your offensive line knows you. Like my guys with the Rams, I would tell them, just give me a split second. That's all I need. You ain't got to block him. Just give me a split second. Le'Veon, he and the line knows that. I mean, they knows the kind of runner he is. I mean, it's like when the Rams played in the NFC Championship game in 1989, they played the San Francisco 49ers. And they got beat by the Niners. I won't forget Jackie Slater said, coming back from that game, he said, John Robinson said, if we'd had one guy, we'd have won this game. And he said, I want to hear him say it, if we'd had 29, me. So I think the same thing here. If they take Le'Veon Bell away from this football team, you could put somebody else back there, for sure, but you're not going to get the same productivity because all of a sudden the line has to start all over again. It's like a receiver. I mean, I don't know this receiver yet. I got to work with him. And it's so important for the offensive line and the running backs to work together. Like, okay, I know this tackle is good at pulling. I know he's not good at the point of attack, but he's better. So I'm going to look here, but, you know, I'm probably going to end up back here. So for sure, you know, you could tilly-tally around with not paying him or franchise tagging him, which, hey, $14 million is $14 million.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take the $5. I'll take the $500,000
off of trying to get $12 million. I can see $12 million annually. I don't see him getting almost double what the highest paid running back is going to get paid. I don't see that.
But you know, you're talking about Devontae Freeman. He is. Man, he's way. I mean, don't get me wrong.
He split time with Tevin Coleman.
Yeah, you're looking at numbers, but you got to see what he does. He's not a Devontae Freeman. He's twice the player he is.
I can see $12 million annually, ED.
Man, you know, I mean, hey, I say this much here. The value of him, you said it. When he carries the ball over 25 times, the Steelers win.
But you think about this.
And I get your point. I take this point. I think if he hadn't had the drug suspension, any suspension. If he was, say, the guy that had got no trouble at all,
makes it easier.
Does it? But would they say, okay, we'll do it? I would say they would probably say, okay, you know, maybe not. So I don't think that even comes into effect.
I mean, think about it now. He's at the end of his contract. They gave Antonio Brown the highest. Antonio Brown doesn't miss games. Antonio Brown has not run afoul with the NFL.
No.
Now, here's the thing. Now, they have a top 5 quarterback. They have a top 1 running back and a top 1-2 receiver. What's it gotten over the last 3 years?
Who are you talking about? Who's gotten over the last 3 years?
Pittsburgh.
What has it gotten them?
Oh, what's it gotten them?
They got Ben Roethlisberger. They got Antonio Brown. They got Le'Veon Bell.
Well, I'm gonna say that the top 5 quarterback has really not played like a top 5 quarterback. He struggled. I mean, his games are like this. The one stumbling block has been the Patriots. I mean, seriously. But you can't.
What are we paying for now?
So the quarterback really. So your quarterback should really get you over the hump. But you got your back. He's doing his job. I'm doing my job.
Well, I know what the quarterback has done now.
Like the saying, I got my man.
The quarterback is one. The quarterback goes in the office and says, hold on now. I won a Super Bowl with Hines Ward. I won a Super Bowl with Antoine Randall. I won a Super Bowl with Santonio Holmes, Willie Parker, Jerome Bettis now. So y'all see y'all better than them two, right? That's what y'all tell y'all better than them.
But at that first, and they said, well, what have you done for me lately? Forget that. What have you done for me lately?
So other than Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady, who you taking over Big Ben?
You know what?
It's gonna be a short.
Honestly, I'd take Dak.
Leave.
You know what? That's the smartest thing
I'm
you've
serious.
said on this
I'm
show.
telling
Because
you.
I agree with you. I would take Dak.
I would take Dak.
Give me a good. You can't say in good.
I would take Carson Wentz, and I'll take Dak. You asked me. That's my opinion.
Wait a second. Ben Roethlisberger lost a playoff game to Tim Tebow. Am I right?
Whoa.
Tim Tebow?
Tom Brady lost the Super Bowl to Nick Foles. He lost the playoff game to Mark Sanchez.
You got to amend what you just said.
What?
Bill Belichick lost
Don't
the
do
Super
that,
Bowl.
Skip. Don't do that.
Bill Belichick gave up 41 points to Nick Foles
Well, how many
while
points?
keeping Malcolm Butler on the sideline for the whole game? Are you
Skip,
kidding me?
see what you do?
I'm not doing anything. I'm just telling you the fact.
How many points did the Steelers defense, they were number one at the time, give up to Tim Tebow? He threw for over 300 yards.
Well, I got Tom Brady threw for 500 yards. I mean, that's almost a perfect game, and you still lost.
No.
One innocent, one turnover, one turnover.
Oh, he said almost a perfect.
It's almost a perfect game.
For an all-time playoff record in any game. In any game.
Until my restaurant opened.
Well, kid,
I was going to have my restaurant open late that night because I expected Tom and his family to come in.
So you
I
expect
didn't.
him to play safety?
You were the only one.
Thank you.
Can I ask you a question? Skip?
Yeah.
What about those first 4 possessions? Why didn't he get the ball in the end zone?
He never has. He's never scored a touchdown in the first quarter of any Super Bowl.
What have you done for me? They got nothing to do with me.
The Steelers and Le'Veon have until July 15th to
They'll figure it out.
terms on a
On my
long-term
50th
deal.
birthday, I'm going to blow the doors off.
Eric.
I would tear you to pieces.
ESPN reports the Giants are less likely to use their number 2 overall pick on a quarterback. Sam Darnold, Josh Rosen, Josh Allen, and Baker Mayfield all could be top 10 picks, but it appears the Giants are set with Eli Manning. New York's new head coach, Pat Shurmur, said last week that Eli has years left as a starting quarterback. Shannon, how surprised are you by this?
I'm very surprised and I'm very confused. Skip, does Giant ownership want us to believe that Ben McAdoo, a third-year head coach, had the cachet to say, you know what, I'm going to sit Eli Manning down because he's not playing well? You don't make a decision like this. Now, a Bill Belichick, maybe a Mike Tomlin, but even when the quarterback has won Super Bowls and Eli's won multiples, you get ownership's blessing to do something of this magnitude.
I agree.
So you mean to tell me, and Eli hadn't played well in 5-6 years. So now you believe Eli all of a sudden is going to be rejuvenated, reinvigorated, and going to play better after you benched him? I'm confused. I'm very surprised. I thought they would take a quarterback, transition to this young man, a la what they did when they had Kurt Warner. They started Kurt, and then they transitioned to Eli, and boom, that's what we have. I thought this would be a very, very similar situation. And for it not to be, now this could all be a smokescreen. Maybe they have their guy in mind, and they just holding these cards close to the vest. But I think it would be a huge mistake if they don't take a quarterback, because I believe Eli is much, much closer to the end than he has this rejuvenation that he's going to play 5 or 6 more years. It's not going to be one of these Tom Brady's. It's not going to be one of these Drew Brees type situations, Skip, because he hasn't played well like these guys have over the last 3 to 4 years. So to think that all of a sudden, you know what, he figured it out. I know the last 5 to 6 years have been pretty bad, but Eli finna turn this thing around now. I don't see it.
Figured it out?
Yeah.
What?
In 2011 Super Bowl.
So, the previous coach, Ben McAdoo, sits him in favor of Geno Smith because he thought it had come to that. Like, I'd rather see Geno play than Eli.
Right.
To Eli's credit, to defend him, obviously his receiving core last year got decimated starting with Odell. But here's what I do not understand, and I'm shocked by this, but I'm pleasantly shocked as a Cowboy fan because I hope Eli plays for the next 3 years for the New York Football Giants because I'll have a better chance of winning games against the Giants. Do you realize the Giants have now made the playoffs once in the last 6 years? How many starting quarterbacks could survive that in this league? Nobody could. Eli survives because he beat Tom Brady twice by hook or crook in 2 Super Bowls, right? By hook or crook. He threw the luckiest pass in the history of passes, and he even admitted that on our show. He just heaved. He basically closed his eyes and heaved it after escaping 3 sacks, which he's not even a mobile quarterback. And somehow it stuck in David Tyree's face mask, and that was the first one. He threw a great pass to Mario Manningham in the second one that iced it, but Tom Brady made his one bad throw in all of his Super Bowl history. Missed Wes Welker. I thought it was a little high and outside. Wes Welker should have caught it, or we'd be having a different conversation. But the point is, he lives off those 2 Super Bowl wins against the greatest quarterback ever. He's made 4 Pro Bowls, has Eli, in 14 seasons. It's okay, but it's not great. He's made 2 in his last 6. It's not great. It's not great enough to keep your job.
And think about it. Coach Coughlin, who was the coach in those Super Bowls, couldn't survive not making the playoffs.
No.
But Eli has.
Eli has. And yet, to your point, this is the time of year, as we all know, when the smoke gets thick because smoke screens are being built everywhere. And in this case, would I be shocked if they're sitting on one of those young quarterbacks? I would not be shocked. But the problem is Cleveland's got the first pick, so they don't know. So maybe they want Cleveland to think they're not doing anything. Maybe they want everybody to think they're not doing anything. But maybe they have identified somebody that they're just going to go ahead and take because they're under, there's no obligation to disclose now, we're going to take so-and-so with the second pick in the draft.
But the last 2 teams that's won their division got their quarterback sold up for the next 10 years. And you mean to tell me you think you're going to have Eli? So you're going to bypass? Okay, fine. Maybe you're not sold on any of these quarterbacks. You believe Eli is the guy that's going to take you to where you need to be? Now, you drafted Davis Webb, last year? Maybe a couple?
Third round? No. Yeah.
So you drafted a guy in the 3rd round.
And by the way, just for the record, I liked him at Cal. I kind of liked him at Texas Tech when he was there with Baker Mayfield, But he threw 37 touchdowns to 12 interceptions at Cal, 3rd round pick. I don't know. Maybe they like him. Maybe they've decided we can go. It's the new regime, Pat Shermer and Dave Gettleman. I don't know. I
don't know, Skip. But this is what I do know. I don't know what the Giants are doing, but I know I haven't seen good, consistent play from Eli Manning in a very, very long time. Eli Manning is 37. And guys don't have this second career at 37. We saw Tom Brady playing well. This is really not a second career for Tom Brady because he had no lapse between his first.
That is correct.
Drew Brees, once he got to New Orleans, he's been playing great. Aaron Rodgers has been playing great.
That's true.
So we don't see the lull and then all of a sudden pick up again. It just doesn't happen like that.
So Eli Manning has led this league in interceptions 3 times.
Yeah.
Not once or twice, but 3 times. And you look at his QBRs over the last 4 years, and they start to fade. He went 13th, and then the last 2 years, 25th and 25th. Well, just showing you he's aging. And my eye test from last year watching him, I thought he lost a little arm strength. He doesn't look the same to me. It's not coming out with quite the velocity and sort of the assertiveness that it used to. He used to be on top of the game. He's got high IQ. Do I ever think he was great? No, but he's surviving on reputation. It's like, I don't buy this. I'm sorry, I'm going to shoot holes in them. I think they are smoke screening.
They probably, they're trying to sell us a bill of goods. Oh, they're not going to take a quarter. It's just hard for me to believe that ownership would sign off on benching Eli Manning, and now all of a sudden they get a new staff. Well, Eli got 3 more years. If you thought that, why would you bench him to begin with? If you thought Eli had 3 more years, because granted, I get Ben McAdoo. You realize that, I think early on in the season, they realized Ben McAdoo wasn't the guy for them. But like I said, Tom Coughlin won those 2 Super Bowls. He couldn't survive. And that was the question we were asking, Skip. How long does Tom Coughlin get to survive after 2 Super Bowls? He hadn't made the playoffs since that Super Bowl. He get reassigned or whatever that was. Now Eli got 3 more years. How?
And they benched him for Geno.
Geno's. What?
Geno.
I feel like we had some tape on.
So Geno's your guy.
Well, to your
I hope
point,
Eli's their guy.
He's going to be 38 before the end of the season. Only 3 quarterbacks, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, and John Elway, have started in a Super Bowl after their 38th birthday. So
they've been playing
rare
Super Bowls since, 67?
company.
No mercy.
Thanks for listening to the Undisputed Podcast. I'm Joy Taylor. We're back at the same time tomorrow morning, 9:30 Eastern. We'll see you then.
Facts. One of one.